They expected more. Blackridge House had a reputation stretching back decades. Murders, vanishings, seances gone wrong. Paranormal forums swore by it. The house doesn't scare you, it changes you. But for Alex, Marla, Dev, and Leo, the night passed without a flicker of light or a creak in the walls. They set up thermal cams, EMF readers, EVP recorders, nothing. No cold spots, no whispers, not even faulty wiring to fake a thrill. Marla yawned as they packed up. "This place is just sad," Dev agreed, brushing dust off his coat. "Feels like a forgotten stage waiting for a ghost that never shows." They left just before dawn. Alex was the last to exit, glancing back at the peeling wallpaper and sunlit hallways. Something about the silence felt wrong. Not empty, held in. The next day, things began to unravel. A car nearly slammed into Dev at an intersection. He didn't flinch, didn't curse, just blinked and kept driving. Leo's girlfriend told him she was leaving. He nodded as if she'd told him the weather. Marla got a call that her childhood dog had died. She stared at her phone screen. "That sucks," she muttered, and then went back to typing. Alex noticed it most when he laughed at an old video and realized he felt nothing. Not joy, not melancholy, just a blank space where something used to be. Something was supposed to happen in that house. It just waited until they left. By the third day, Alex couldn't deny it. Something inside them had been carved out. Leo stood in front of a boiling pot of pasta and forgot to add the noodles. When Alex asked what he was doing, Leo just said, "I don't know. I'm not hungry. I'm not really anything." His voice was flat, like it wasn't entirely his. Marla had stopped listening to music. She'd always had headphones around her neck, always humming. Now she just sat in silence. When asked why, she said, "Songs don't land anymore. It's like hearing a language I used to know." Her eyes were open, but nothing behind them moved. Dev, who used to tell stories about his daughter constantly, now looked at pictures of her like she was a stranger. "I remember loving her," he said, "but I don't feel it. It's like someone else wrote the memory." Alex tried everything: caffeine, old playlists, spicy food, even therapy. But joy, fear, sadness, gone. He didn't feel numb. He felt empty, like his emotions had been unplugged and removed with surgical precision. And then the whispers started. Faint, through phone static, behind closed doors, beneath his bed. A voice that wasn't quite a voice, like a feeling pretending to be sound. "You left it here." Alex stared at his reflection, searching his own face for anything familiar. Nothing. Then the voice returned, closer this time. "We didn't trap you. You offered it. We only kept what you didn't notice missing." And in that moment, for the first time in days, Alex felt something. Fear. But it wasn't his. Alex drove back to Blackridge House without telling the others. He needed answers. Not theories or recordings, something real. Something felt. The house sat quiet beneath the gray sky, sunless and sagging like it had been holding its breath for decades. The front door opened on the first push, despite the heavy lock they'd secured 3 nights ago. Inside, dust hung in the air like fog, but everything was just as they'd left it. Tripod stands folded neatly. Alex staggered back, heart pounding. The grief faded almost instantly, as if yanked from him. But it was real. For one brief moment he had felt. That meant the house hadn't just taken from them. It was using their emotions, sampling them, learning them. He called the others, told them what he found. They didn't ask questions. They showed up that night, almost like they'd been waiting. Inside, the house pulsed with a new energy. The walls had a sheen to them, as though sweating. The floorboards creaked not under their steps, but ahead of them, leading them room to room like a heartbeat guiding blood. In the dining room, Dev stared at the music box and said nothing. It wound itself, played a lullaby none of them remembered. Dev's hands trembled, his eyes welled up, then immediately dried. "Feel it?" Alex asked. "I did," Dev said softly. Then it took it again. In the upstairs bedroom, Marla picked up her journal page, her voice cracked reading it aloud. "I wrote this after I tried." She stopped, her hands clenched, the lights flickered. A mirror across the room shattered without sound. The house was responding, reacting, feeding. Downstairs, Leo stood in front of the display case with his mother's ring. He didn't speak. He didn't touch it. But a single tear slid down his cheek. It didn't fall. It floated, then dissolved, absorbed into the wall like moisture. The air grew heavy. The walls shimmered faintly, stretching inward and breathing deep. Alex finally understood. This wasn't a haunting. It was a becoming. The house didn't want to scare them. It wanted to feel everything, and it needed them to do it. The house no longer creaked. It hummed, low and steady, like something alive, something satisfied. The objects had all returned to their places. The music box closed, the journal page folded, the ring displayed. But the walls still trembled, like a hunger not quite full. "We shouldn't have come back," Marla whispered. "It didn't take us," Alex said. "We left parts of ourselves behind, and now it wants the rest." They tried to leave. The front door opened easily. The streetlights glowed outside. But as they crossed the threshold, each step became heavier. Dev gripped the doorframe, gasping. "I can't move." His chest was hollow, his eyes blank. "I feel like I'm being pulled apart." Outside, his daughter waited in the car. He looked toward her and smiled, for the first time in days. Then he stepped back into the house. "I'm staying," he said. "If it wants to feel, let it feel through me." The door slammed behind him. Marla screamed. She felt it, the horror, the sorrow, the loss. It rushed into her like fire. Leo dropped to his knees, sobbing and laughing at once. Alex fell backward onto the porch, gasping for air. They were feeling again. From inside, Dev whispered one last time, "Tell her I remember everything now." The house quieted. Still, Alex turned once more before they left. The windows were dark, but in the glass he saw Dev staring out, and something else behind him, wearing his face, smiling. The house didn't just want emotions, it wanted identity, and now it had one.